Good day, everybody. Welcome to today's video. Today's video, we are working on the LS swap in the 2003 Jeep TJ. And in today's video, we're looking at putting the motor mounts in place, tacking them up. They're going to have to assemble the motor, the transmission, slide it in, see how it's going to fit, make adjustments. However, the motor mounts that I got are from Novak Conversions. So these are the welded ones. So you have to remove your factory frame horns off of your Jeep TJ frame. That being said, I still have one more mount to cut off because I didn't realize I have to cut the mount off for the steering as well. So let's have a look at the mounts and see what we're going to do. So here's the mounts right here. This one here, I already got primed on the inside. And I thought that this one here was going to be for the steering, but it's not. I'm not sure why that notch is in on there. But this one here, the one I'm going to have to weld the nuts. The brackets are cut off, both sides, but this one here has to be cut off because we have a measurement that goes from this hole back where we tack it in place. So going over the instructions, you can see the hole right there. We talked about this already, 4.5 inches on the frame itself. 4.5 inches from that hole. Let me just grab my ruler. So I'm gonna go basically from the center of the hole to right where my tape mark is. And that's where I'm gonna set it up. Tack them in place. Both sides. Then we're going to have to assemble the motor, transmission, lower it in place. Let's size this up. Four and a half. Close your eyes. Yeah, right about like that. Close your eyes. I just got a couple little tacks in there. We're gonna have to weld in a little bit more so we can set the engine in place, not have it break. So I'm just gonna put a good tack in the corner there and then build up the two sections that I had. Now comes the fun stuff. We can put the motor in place and see our fitment of the motor mounts and see if we need to cut them loose and or just leave them. Moving along, got the motor mounts right here. There's 3 different placements which you could go. We're going to start off with the middle. Not too worried about placement going forward because we're going to use an electric fan. But I really don't want the firewall being right close to here. So that being said, let's set it up with the middle one. See what's going to happen. The bracket actually fits right there. And then that goes over top and lines up. So after taking a long break, before you go ahead and weld your motor mounts into place where you think they got to be, you got to make sure everything fits. There's a few things I've noticed, a few things that said in the instructions is that the transmission tunnel down there is rubbing on the engine, because the engine needs to come this way some more, which will clear up some more space for the power steering return line that I cut off. Not a big deal, not a big deal. We can take care of that. Still a little concerned about how close that is there with the steering. We once the engine is finally set into place and turned the direction it should be, I'm hoping I should have a little bit more gap than that. Now, before we weld the motor mounts in, one of the things you need to do is make sure you got the headers in place. Make sure the headers clearance is going to be good. On this side here, the header clearance is a little bit more tighter. Once again, not a big deal. We should be able to get around that. I do have the transmission dipstick. However, on eBay, I found a flexible dipstick. I might actually pick up that and use it. That's to be determined yet. That being said, I think we're good. I mean, everybody's gonna have their own setup on where they want the motor to sit and everything else. I'm gonna try to move mine one more notch up just to give a little bit more clearance, but I have to pay respect to the steering linkage right there. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, I'm gonna get going. If you guys have any questions or comments, post them below. And I want to thank you for watching the video on whereabouts I'm gonna go with the motor mounts, and I'm just gonna follow the stock instructions because it looks like it's gonna work.